Hi and welcome, I'm HR and this is Homebody Rundown. We are on week 3 of Pantry Challenge. Link in the description to the Three Rivers Homestead channel that inspired me to do this. My goal is to use up food in the house instead of stocking up more. This will help us spend a lot less money at the grocery store. The rules I've set for the challenge are to only buy fruits and vegetables, dairy, and protein if needed. Just to be clear, I'm only applying the challenge to groceries, not household items. I did break my rules a little this week shopping at Walmart, and I'll discuss that during the grocery haul in this video. This video will be shorter than the last one because we are having work done on the house and I won't be able to film much. Because of that, I'm doing extra cooking on Sunday. I normally do very little food prep on the weekends. I am a stay-at-home parent. My kids are older and the two at home homeschool. My husband works from home a few days a week, so we eat almost all of our meals here. Sorry, I don't follow many recipes. This isn't a recipe channel, but I will link any inspiration recipes I can find. Starting off with some box brownie mix. This is Ghirardelli brand. Also got out a few bags of frozen veggies to roast. Another treat we got out this weekend was these Lindor truffles. They are always popular and good to have out for a crowd. I do like to keep the bag because it lists the different flavors. I think I got this bag at Costco, but Sam's Club also carries some varieties as well. The brownies are done, delicious as always. Going to roast the cauliflower and broccoli together, added olive oil, spray avocado oil, and salt. Also some Frontier Co-op adobo seasoning. I love this stuff. Be careful when opening the oven, there is a lot of extremely hot steam. Also had some older baby carrots to bake, and I added some onions to roast with the butternut squash. I didn't get video of that. I just put everything together after it roasted. It will be really nice to have these ready to go this week when we're trying to just do quick meals. Now making a vegetarian shepherd's pie type casserole. These instant potatoes expire next month and I have at least 6 boxes of them. Making the whole box following instructions on the back, but not adding all the butter. I will use some oil instead. Using these Corn brand meatless crumbles in place of ground beef. Here are some of the flavors I'll add. I have 3 boxes of these Edward & Sons not chicken bouillon cubes, so I'm using some of those. The sodium is high enough I won't add any plain salt. I'm not sure how much I'll use, we'll just have to taste it. And I think I'll also add some dry mustard. I prefer to add my spices to a little bowl instead of using the spice jars directly over the heat. I don't like moisture getting onto the jar lids. Making a cream sauce, I removed the veggie crumbles, added some butter, oil, then some flour and water. When I used to make this with meat, I would usually make a brown sauce with no dairy, but today I'm adding milk as well, and also some black pepper. It is lacking in flavor, so added some low sodium garden veggie bouillon as well. Using 2 cans of green beans and adding the veggie meat back in. Spreading the mashed potatoes with some dried parsley over the top. I did not end up using all of the potatoes. Finally, some shredded Parmesan on top, and it went into the oven. Here's how it looks coming out. And plated up. Now I'm going to make the Bob's Red Mill recipe for falafel patties using their chickpea flour. These are not quite like what I have gotten at restaurants, but they are very easy. It's a very light batter. I'll link the recipe in the description. This is a double batch. Made a couple sizes. I started out with a larger scoop but realized I wasn't getting nearly as many as the recipe said, so switched to the smallest scoop I have. And I did end up making a second double batch, which finished up the entire bag of flour. These are the smaller size. I used a spatula to smooth them down into a flatter pancake shape. They are a bit dry, but we will mostly eat these in a wrap with lettuce and mayo and roasted red peppers. Not directly food related, but I should try to eat a little healthier this week. We are in Southwest Michigan and it is nasty outside, like most places. I haven't been on a walk in over a week. Feels like -22. Going to use some packaged foods from the pantry for lunch today. These are items I like to have for us to take on vacation, but the rice is a new item. Picked it up at Costco, and we'll add this to the falafel and the roasted veggies in the refrigerator. The roasted vegetables were the best part of this lunch. I don't have a great sense of taste, so the lentils were bland to me. I do like the potatoes, but the rice was very dry and I won't buy that again. Tonight I'm making some apple muffins. Normally I would make blueberry, but we ran out of those a few days ago, so I'll dice up some apples instead. This is my favorite style of peeler. Line the muffin dishes with these If You Care brand unbleached baking cups. I can find these at Whole Foods Market and on Azure Standard, and they're about the same price. I'm using the same recipe I use for blueberry muffins. It's a modified Betty Crocker recipe. I replaced some sugar with maple syrup, but I'll link the original recipe in the description. Changing the fruit could affect the time needed to bake, so make sure they're baked through as they do have eggs and flour. This is 2 medium apples cut into small pieces. Not sure if this will work well with the whisk. It is probably better to use the beater attachment, but I guess it's doing all right. Using a new scoop I just ordered off Amazon a couple of weeks ago. It's dishwasher safe, number 16 or 2 ounces. It seems to be about the perfect amount for these muffin cups. I can't say how it holds up over time, but it is comfortable to use, and I will link it in the description. These looked lovely, but they were kind of bland. Next time I'll add a little more cinnamon and probably a dash of nutmeg. The kids are having friends over this weekend, and even though everyone is a teenager, I still put out a snack basket, so I'm refilling it. The juice boxes are from when some little kids were over, but in my experience, teens also like juice boxes. Going to organize it first. I have some random Trader Joe's cereal bars in here. Those are pretty popular, but the Whole Foods 365 brand apple cereal bars were not. I'm going to see how old this one is. It looks like it expired about a year ago and it's squished flat, so that is going to get tossed. These Nature's Bakery fig bars are very good, but they do have a lot of sugar. Adding more Kirkland's soft and chewy granola bars. When these are gone, I won't buy more because my local Sam's Club now carries Z-bars, and those are organic. But the Z-bars are not all chocolate chip. It's 3 varieties. The least popular here is iced oatmeal cookie. Went to Walmart today. We could get up to another foot of snow over the next couple days here in Southwest Michigan, so I'm glad I could get over there. It's about 10 minutes from my house. I want to make a quiche, so picked up more eggs. Vital Farms, $6.12 for a dozen. Market Side organic baby carrots, 1 pound, $1.66. Market Side organic green onions, $1.86. Simply Orange orange juice, 52 fluid ounces for $3.98, product of USA and/or Brazil. Great Value heavy whipping cream, 32 ounces, $4.98. It looks like they stopped carrying an organic option. Hoping these apples are as good as last time. 2 pounds Market Side Organics Honey Crisp, $5.48. Seedless mandarins or clementines. They were kind of large. 5 pounds, $6.98. Bread was not on my approved Pantry Challenge shopping list, but I didn't plan ahead well enough. I do have bread in the deep freezer downstairs in the basement, but I can't access it right now while we have workers down there doing waterproofing. Brownberry organic whole grain bread, $5.48 for 27-ounce loaf. A lot of dairy today. Daisy cottage cheese, 1.5 pounds, $3.78. Chobani non-fat plain Greek yogurt, 32 ounces, $5.58. This is good until February 14th. Normally I would buy multiple containers of each of these items, but I don't have room in the refrigerator right now because we unplugged the mini fridge downstairs. Chobani whole milk Greek yogurt, 32 ounces, $5.58. 1.5 pounds Daisy sour cream, $3.48. Middle child is eating a lot of this, so I did get 2 Chobani strawberry Greek yogurts, 32 ounces for $5.58. We ran out of blueberries, so picked up 2 bags. Wyman's wild blueberries. These are much smaller than standard size, and I really like that. They defrost more quickly. $12.48 for each 3-pound bag. During Pantry Challenge, I decided we would still order food or pick up foods for when other people are over, and that's what these are for. Ore-Ida tater tots, 32 ounces for $5.28. So I view this as my first real cheat of Pantry Challenge. I do have coffee. However, I don't like it very much, and I just wanted some decent coffee. But if this is my only fail, I'm okay with that. Vanilla ground Starbucks, 11 ounces for $8.98, and the total for all of this was $110.82. Making some coffee creamer to go along with my new coffee. This is not a professional recipe. No idea if this is okay to do or would really last very long in the refrigerator, but it won't last long here. I'm going to mix it up in a wide mouth jar so I can use these pour top lids I ordered off Amazon, link in the description. They do have a seal. It's removable for washing, which I do like. Adding a little powdered sugar for sweetness, maybe just over a tablespoon. Now heavy whipping cream and some 4-fold vanilla extract. These are the same ingredients that I use to make whipped cream. Just added a little more vanilla and cream, so swirling that around to mix. Making some new vanilla coffee and trying out the new creamer. I usually add milk as well to my coffee, so I'm just going to add it to the creamer to save myself a step. So this ends up being more like half and half. It's really good. and it's probably way cheaper. Saw this polenta when reorganizing in the pantry, and it sounded really good. I'm going to make it in the slow cooker. There is a recipe on the bag for using the slow cooker. I will link it in the description. Using the small crock pot, I don't know if I should oil it, but I'm going to. The spray oil doesn't spray very well when it's almost empty. It's just polenta, water, and salt. I'm trying not to stir against the sides where I put the oil on. It's been cooking on high for about an hour and a half. It smells wonderful, and be careful, it's boiling hot. Once it cooled down though, it tasted great. Not sure if oil made a difference. I soaked it for a few and it cleaned up just fine. Just a side note, today it feels positive 22 instead of negative 22. Making a quiche tonight, no recipe, but Betty Crocker's website has a good selection. I use more eggs than any recipes I've seen, some milk and some seasonings, and I just whisk it all together. Forgot to show the jar, but I also add turmeric, and I scrape down the sides and give it a stir by hand just to make sure there's no clumps of spices. Nobody wants to eat that. I love to add onions to quiche. Also chopped up the rest of the roasted red peppers I had in the refrigerator. Thank goodness I used a cutting board with a drip edge. I've mentioned before, but storing onions in these Snapware containers has been amazing. The refrigerator doesn't smell like onions. This is an Immaculate Baking Company pre-made pie crust. These are fantastic. I buy them at Whole Foods, but unfortunately in my area they only seem to be available at the end of the year during the holidays. But our local store is small, so maybe some have them year around. I don't do much to the edge, no pinching or making it pretty. If this was for company, I probably would, but I try to be careful with how I use my joints because of some pain, and making this look good is not worth it. I just roll it over. Added in some goat cheese. I just crumbled that up by hand. These are the chopped roasted red peppers. And the chopped white onion. I have the pie plate sitting on a cookie sheet, but I won't have it on this in the oven. There are so many eggs in this, I bake it more like a quiche Lorraine, so I start at a high temp for 20 minutes and then lower temp for about 40 minutes or until the eggs are thoroughly cooked. We'll let this set and cool for quite some time. The edge does get dark, but it still tastes good. You could probably wrap the edge in foil for some of the baking time, but I don't bother. It tasted great. That's it for week 3. Just leftovers tomorrow and making some easy stuff for the kids and their friends. Next week, I'm hoping to make potato soup, biscuits, black bean burgers, and maybe some garlic Alfredo pasta. We'll also make some cookies. And hopefully I won't cheat again at the grocery store. Thanks for watching.